Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making an easy, delicious blueberry cobbler. So let's get started. First off, set that oven to 350. We want it nice and warm by the time we start this recipe. Once it's hot, we're gonna grab 5 tablespoons of butter, that's 70 grams, plop it right into your pan, and this goes in to get nice and melty. It'll be ready by the time this blueberry cobbler's together because this recipe is fast. In you go. Now, in a largish bowl, you're gonna add 3 cups or 450 grams of fresh blueberries. You could definitely use frozen blueberries for this recipe, but here's the deal. Frozen fruit tends to have a lot of liquid inside of it, so if you're doing that, you're gonna get a more liquidy, jammy cobbler. If you don't want that, you're gonna thaw them and pat them dry and then use them, but everything will work in this. It is a foolproof recipe. To sweeten the deal, I want a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, that is 50 grams. You can go down on this a little bit if your blueberries are extravagantly sweet and delicious. I love blueberries so much that when we added to the kitchen garden, I made sure to plant a bunch of bushes. 2 of them so productive off the bat. The rest of them are later in the season. But I have to tell you, the kids and Brian and I have been picking blueberries as we go through the garden, so we did not have enough to make this cobbler today. I had to go to the farmer's market and grab some really nice ones. Blueberries and lemons go hand in hand. This lemon zest, we're gonna use the whole lemon, is gonna add so much lift to your cobbler. So just get that delicious skin off full of lemon oil, and we'll toss it in. If you don't have a microplane or a rasp, you need to get one. They are so amazing in the kitchen, especially for getting zest off. All right, this is an optional step, but I really want a little bit more lemon juice, so I'm just gonna add in like a half squeeze. You don't have to add this though. My scale is done. I'm gonna give this a quick toss. Now these blueberries are appropriately sweetened. They're covered in lemon zest, and just restrain yourself because this is a delicious snack right now. This cobbler uses blueberries. If you have another berry you want to substitute in, go ahead, just use the same amount and it should be equally as delicious. Just make sure it's not something that's hard and has to bake for a while like an apple. That's a different cobbler. That's a different cobbler. Pull that scale back because I actually had it out for the cobbler, not for this. Grab a large bowl, and it's time to get this together. There are so many different types of cobblers. They go anywhere from being basically a pie with like a pie crust to having like biscuity toppings, or like this one where it has a loose batter that will rise up and envelop your fruit in a moist, amazing dessert. It's also like one of the easiest things ever. So let's grab some flour and get to work. Into a large bowl, I'm adding 1 1/4 cup or 150 grams of all-purpose flour. Hope you're using a scale at home. It is so easy, and if you ever thought, is there one tool that John recommends? It would be a scale. It makes everything so much better, and there's less dishes to clean up afterwards too. For leavening, I'm using 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and this cobbler is basically like a pancake batter almost, except there is no butter in here. The butter's all melted in the pan, and it's gonna do some magical things when it bakes. 2 teaspoons, half a teaspoon of salt, gives us some balance, and half a cup or 100 grams of granulated sugar. This cobbler is basically perfection, especially with a big scoop of ice cream or a big dollop of whipped cream. And yes, you could do both. Perfect. Grab a whisk. Now my scale is done. And we're just gonna give this a quick whisk, just to pull everything together. This is a dessert that's amazing just coming out of the oven, which is why it could be cool just to prep it out the night before or ahead of time. So if you have guests over, you just add the milk in like I'm doing now. I want 1 cup or 240 mils of whole milk. And it all comes together in like literally 2 minutes. I'm gonna whisk this until it is just combined. There we go. Set that aside, grab a trivet and some pot holders. We're gonna take this hot pan out of the oven now. Oh, look at this. That is browned to perfection. This butter smells so good. It's also sizzling, so be careful. And I left this in the oven for a couple minutes longer, but it's not burnt, it's browned. It's an optional step, but it gives you a deeper, nuttier flavor, and I love it. Now we're gonna pour the batter into our hot pan. Ooh, The sound, the smell, it's all amazing. Just get it all out, you don't want to waste any. The more batter you get out of your bowl, the easier it is to wash up later. And now, we're gonna sprinkle the blueberries in. Just try and get a nice even layer so you don't have one part that's all batter and one giant mound of blueberries. That's not fair. Okay, sprinkle those in. I'm even taking out the remaining sugar and lemon zest and just sprinkling that over so it kind of melts in. The lemon zest is my favorite. Very different, but this actually reminds me of making a traditional Southern cornbread in that cast iron skillet because the butter is frying the batter right in the pan to give it a wonderful, delicious head start. This guy's ready to go into the oven, 350 for 30 to 35 minutes, and if you're using frozen blueberries, you might have to add a little bit more time, just a couple minutes. Your cobbler is done when it's golden and a skewer inserted in the middle comes out clean. In you go. Grab a scoop, plop some ice cream on, and you're ready to enjoy. That is bursting with blueberry flavor, and the batter itself is like buttery, light, and just delicious. I hope you get a chance to make this recipe, and if you like this video, check out my easy dessert playlist.